Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving deep into entrepreneurship and lead generation with Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Leads, How to Get Strangers to Want to Buy Your Stuff. This book is,
It's a great one.
it is. It's packed with real-world experience and advice, and we're excited to unpack it.
Yeah, he's someone who's actually done it.
Yeah,
He's not just talking,
right.
theoretically, like he's built and scaled multiple businesses, gyms, supplement companies, software, like
Yeah.
you name it.
It seems like he's done it all.
Yeah, he's kind of a lead generating machine.
He is. Okay, so let's unpack one of the core ideas from the book, engaged leads. Why is that so important for entrepreneurs, especially when they're just starting out?
Well, I think the way to think about it is, you could have a list of 1,000 email addresses, but if those people aren't interested in what you have to offer, they're not really that valuable.
Yeah.
So what Hormozi argues is that it's much better to have a smaller list of highly engaged leads, right?
Yeah.
Who are genuinely interested in what you do and much more likely to become paying customers.
Okay.
So it's about quality over quantity.
I can see how that would be a game changer, especially when you're just trying to build momentum,
Exactly.
avoid getting bogged down with those unqualified leads.
Exactly.
Now,
And he doesn't just tell you to focus on engaged leads.
right.
He gives you very tactical advice on how to actually do it.
Okay.
Like he talks about the psychology of advertising,
Yeah.
crafting offers,
Hmm.
building lead magnets, like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, that's what I love about this book. It's not just theory, it's really practical advice and real-world examples.
Yes.
Now, speaking of real-world experience, he actually shares a story about a time when he went broke after selling his successful gyms.
Right.
What happened there?
Well, so he basically jumped into a partnership that turned sour pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of a cautionary tale,
Yeah.
about choosing the right business partners and really understanding the business model you're getting into.
Yeah, did he go into detail about that? Like, what exactly went wrong?
Well, I mean, he doesn't get into all the weeds, but he talks about, not having
Okay.
enough control over the business and
Yeah.
kind of being blindsided by some of the decisions his partners made.
Oh, so lack of control and then just not fully vetting.
Yeah, and I think just underestimating the risks involved
Yeah.
in that particular model.
Okay, so kind of a cautionary tale.
Yeah, even the best entrepreneurs make mistakes.
Mm.
But what sets them apart is how they bounce back.
It's a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster.
Absolutely. Okay, so enough about the setbacks. This book is full of actionable advice for people trying to grow their businesses. What are some of the biggest takeaways?
So one of the most important things he talks about is what he calls the core 4. And these are the 4 ways that a single person can generate leads, basically.
Okay.
And it's warm outreach, content creation, cold outreach, and paid ads. Right? And the way he breaks it down is he gives you a framework for which one of these 4 you should focus on based on whether you have more time or money. Right.
So if you're strapped for cash, lean into the stuff that takes more time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you have more time than money, you'd lean towards like warm outreach and content creation.
Okay.
And then as you start generating revenue, you can then reinvest some of that into paid ads
Okay.
to kind of accelerate your growth.
Makes sense. And I think it's interesting, you mentioned before that he doesn't just talk about lead gen for customers, he talks about it for employees.
Oh yeah, he talks about treating your ideal employee as an audience,
Oh, wow.
that you need to market to, which I thought was really interesting.
Okay.
So he even talks about using lead magnets,
Wow.
like for your employees, like a well-crafted job posting
Yeah.
could be a lead magnet,
Oh, that's interesting.
or like a behind-the-scenes look at your company culture, that kind of stuff.
It's like applying the same principles to a different area.
Yeah, very much so.
So let's unpack the core 4 a bit, starting with warm outreach. How does he say to approach people that you already know?
So he has a very specific framework that he calls ACA,
Okay.
which stands for Acknowledge, Compliment, Ask.
Okay.
So it's basically about building rapport and subtly steering the conversation towards your offer without being too pushy.
So it's not just sending a blast email to everyone on your list.
No.
It's more about building a relationship.
Right.
Okay, so give me an example of that.
Yeah, so you might, acknowledge a recent accomplishment, compliment them on their work,
Yeah.
and then ask if they'd be open to learning more about what you're doing.
Okay, so it's like leveraging that existing relationship,
Yeah.
providing value.
Exactly.
Okay, now what about content creation? That seems like a pretty broad
Yeah.
topic. How does he break that down?
Yeah, so he's very specific about how he structures content, and he talks about content units, basically.
Yeah.
And each content unit needs to hook the audience's attention, retain their interest,
Yeah.
and then reward them with valuable information or insights.
Okay.
So it's about, delivering on the promise of your content and leaving them wanting more.
Okay, I love that framework. Hook, retain, reward. What would be an example of a content unit that follows that structure?
Yeah. So let's say you're in the fitness industry,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
You could create a video titled, the 3 biggest mistakes people make when trying to lose weight,
Okay.
right? So that's your hook.
Yeah.
Then you dive into each mistake,
Yeah.
explaining why it's a problem, providing actionable advice on how to avoid it.
Right.
That's the retain part.
Okay.
And then finally, you'd offer like a free downloadable guide, with a meal plan or a workout routine or something that's tailored to their specific goals.
Okay, so that's the reward.
That's the reward, yeah.
I like that. And that could be a blog post, it could be a video, it could be...
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
It works across all formats. Now, one thing that he talks about a lot in the book is constantly testing and refining your approach.
Yeah.
He calls it more, better, new.
He does, yeah.
So you start by doing more of what's working.
Right.
Then you find ways to make it better.
Exactly.
And then finally, you introduce new elements to keep scaling your reach.
Yeah, it's about continuous improvement, right?
Continuous improvement. Now, what about cold outreach? I feel like that's something that a lot of people are afraid of, reaching out to complete strangers.
Well, the way he breaks it down is he makes it a very systematic process.
Okay.
Right? So he talks about first building a highly targeted list.
Okay.
So you know exactly who you're reaching out to.
Not just spraying and praying.
No, not at all.
Like you said, targeted.
Very targeted.
Okay.
And then once you have that list, you need to craft a compelling message
Okay.
that grabs their attention and communicates the value.
Right.
He talks about using a what, who, why, how framework
Okay.
to basically answer the key questions. So, what's the problem you're solving?
Right.
Who are you and why should they listen to you? Why is your solution better than others and how can they get started?
Oh, that's a really good framework.
It is.
What, why, how? Okay. And then, of course, you need a clear call to action.
Absolutely.
Telling them exactly what you want them to do.
Yeah. Make it easy for them to take the next step.
Okay. Now, the last of the core 4, paid ads.
Yes.
That's a whole beast in and of itself. How does he approach that?
So he's very methodical about it, right?
Yeah.
As he is with everything else, he breaks it down into steps.
Right.
He emphasizes tracking your ad spend meticulously.
Okay.
To make sure you're getting a return on your investment.
You don't want to just be throwing money away.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And then, once you're tracking everything, then it's about targeting the right audience.
Okay.
So who are the people most likely to be interested in your offer?
Right. And where are they?
Where do they hang out online? What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? And then once you have a good understanding of your target audience, then you can start testing different ad creatives and messaging.
So it's an iterative process.
Very much so.
Of testing, analyzing, refining until you get it right.
Exactly. He actually talks about 3 phases of scaling ads. Track money, lose money, and print money.
Lose money. That sounds scary.
It can be, but it's part of the process.
Okay.
Especially as you're figuring things out.
Yeah.
You're going to lose some money at the beginning. The key is to track it.
Track it. Okay.
Use that data to improve.
Gotcha.
And get to that print money phase.
Print money. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. He also talked about this concept called client-financed acquisition. What is that?
Yeah, so client-financed acquisition is basically about structuring your offers in a way that allows you to recoup your ad spend very quickly.
Okay.
So ideally, you want to break even
on
your customer acquisition cost within the first 30 days.
No.
So if you're spending $100 to acquire a customer, you want to generate at least $100 in revenue from that customer in the first month.
Wow. So they're essentially paying for themselves.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It requires a deep understanding of your pricing and your sales funnel and your customer lifetime value. But if you can master this concept, you're essentially creating a system where your customers are funding your growth.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's especially important if you're trying to scale quickly.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Now, beyond these core methods, he also talks about leveraging other people, other businesses to become what he calls lead getters.
Yes.
So it's like building the system where others are helping you grow your business.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's one of the keys to scaling.
So who are these lead getters?
So he breaks it down into 4 main types.
Hmm.
Customer referrals, strategic partnerships, agencies, and then your own team of employees.
Okay, so it's like a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, it's about leveraging all the resources available to you.
Okay, so let's start with customer referrals.
Okay.
How do you turn happy customers into lead-generating machines?
So he starts by asking a really interesting question. He says, why are my customers too embarrassed to tell everyone they know about my product?
That's a really good question.
It is.
It makes you think.
It forces you to really think about the customer experience you're providing.
Yeah.
Because if people aren't raving about what you do,
Yeah.
there's probably a reason.
Right.
And it might not even be about the quality of your product or service.
Right. It could be something else.
It could be the customer service,
A follow-up. Yeah.
the onboarding process,
Experience.
the whole experience, yeah.
So how do you build that level of, goodwill and advocacy that makes people want to shout from the rooftops?
Well, he outlines 6 key strategies,
Okay.
and they're all about maximizing customer value,
Okay.
exceeding expectations at every touch point.
All right, let's dive into those. What's the first one?
So the first one is your product or service needs to be truly remarkable.
Okay.
It has to be so good that people can't help but talk about it.
Yeah, but I imagine it's easy to get caught up in the weeds
Yeah.
and lose sight of that bigger picture.
It is, and it's not just about the initial product, right?
Right.
It's about constantly seeking feedback,
Yeah.
looking for ways to improve.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're already at the top of your game.
It's that continuous improvement.
That is, yeah.
Okay, what's number 2?
Underpromise and overdeliver.
I love that one.
A classic.
Set those expectations and then just blow them out of the water.
Yeah, create that wow factor
I like
that
that.
makes people feel delighted.
Okay, what's number 3?
So the third one is to focus on getting your best customers even better results,
Okay.
right? Because those are the people who are going to be your most powerful advocates,
Yeah.
right? They've already seen success.
Yeah, they've experienced it.
So he talks about figuring out what your top performing customers are doing
Okay.
and finding ways to help all your customers achieve similar results.
So it's like identifying best practices,
Yeah.
systematizing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, number 4.
So the fourth strategy is to speed up wins for your customers.
What do you mean by wins?
So a win is any positive experience
Okay.
that a customer has with your product or service.
Okay.
And the faster you can deliver those wins, the more engaged they're going to be.
So create those aha moments.
Exactly.
Early on.
Yeah, make them feel good about their decision
Okay.
to do business with you as quickly as possible.
I like that.
And even break down, larger goals into smaller milestones so that they can celebrate
Yeah.
those small victories along the way.
It all contributes to that positive experience.
It does, yeah.
Okay, what's number 5?
Number 5 is to reduce effort and sacrifice for your customers.
Okay.
Make it as easy as possible for them to get the results they want.
So remove that friction in the customer journey.
Yeah. Smoother the experience,
Yeah.
the happier they'll be.
Makes sense.
And then finally, keep selling to your existing customers.
I think that's one that a lot of businesses forget about.
Yeah, they get so focused on acquisition
Yeah,
that they forget about the incredible value of their existing customer base.
absolutely.
These are the people who already know you, they trust you,
Yeah,
they're much more likely to buy from you again
right.
if you continue to provide value.
So nurture those relationships
Yeah,
and find ways to serve them even better.
exactly.
Okay, so we've covered the 6 strategies for building goodwill. What about actually asking for those referral?
Yeah, so the way he frames it is you need to treat asking for referrals like an offer itself.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just about, casually mentioning it.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating the value
Okay.
that the customer gets from making a referral.
So make it a win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
What are some specific tactics?
So he talks about offering referral benefits. So, one-sided or two-sided.
Okay.
So you give the referrer a reward
Okay.
for bringing in a new customer, or you offer benefits to both
Gotcha.
the referrer and the new customer.
So you're incentivizing them.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Yes.
He also talks about timing your ask strategically.
Okay.
So, right after a positive customer experience.
Yeah, while they're feeling good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even as a negotiation tactic during a sale.
Interesting.
Hey, if you refer a friend, I'll give you an extra discount, something like that.
Okay.
He's also a big proponent of ongoing referral programs
Okay.
where you're consistently reminding people
Okay.
about the benefits of referring.
So you're building that into your process.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
He talks about unlockable referral bonuses,
Okay.
where people can earn increasing rewards
Oh, interesting.
for making multiple referrals
Okay.
or leaving testimonials, things like that.
So you're creating a culture of referrals.
You are, yeah.
Okay.
He gives a great example, actually, of a referral promotion.
Yeah, tell me about that one.
He talked about offering gift cards that customers can give to their friends.
Okay.
But the gift cards have a short expiration date
Oh.
to encourage immediate action.
Okay.
And it creates a sense of exclusivity and value.
It's like a tangible gift.
It is, yeah.
They can share.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the employees. How does he view their role in this whole process?
So he actually sees employees as an extension
Oh.
of your sales and marketing efforts.
So they're not just there to fulfill orders.
No, not at all.
Okay.
They're actually part of the lead generation machine.
Okay.
And he even draws a parallel between attracting customers and attracting talent.
Okay.
He says many of the same principles apply.
So, like, use the core four to attract employees.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So you could use warm outreach to, tap into your personal networks.
Yeah.
You could create content that showcases your company culture. You could use cold outreach to reach out to passive candidates who might not be actively looking for a job.
Okay.
And then you could use paid ads to promote your job openings.
Wow. So it's a holistic approach
It is, yeah.
to the entire employee life cycle.
Exactly.
Now, once you have the right people,
Right.
how do you train them to be lead getters?
So he has a really simple 3-step model,
Okay.
which is document, demonstrate, duplicate.
Okay.
So first, you need to document your processes in a very clear way.
Gotcha.
Then you demonstrate those processes.
Show them how it's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you empower them to duplicate those processes on their own.
Systematize.
Systematize, exactly.
Okay.
So it's about shifting your mindset from, I can do it better myself, to, if someone else can do it, why should I?
It's about letting go of control.
It is.
Trusting your team.
Yeah, leveraging your time and energy.
Yeah, so you can focus on those higher level tasks.
Exactly.
Okay, now another type of lead getter he talks about is agencies.
Yeah. What's his take on agencies? Because I think a lot of people have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
With agencies, they can be helpful, but also very expensive.
They can be, yeah.
And sometimes it feels like you're losing control.
Yeah, I think his perspective is a little bit different than most people's.
Okay.
He sees agencies as valuable learning opportunities,
Okay.
particularly for mastering new platforms or new techniques.
So it's not about outsourcing the work completely.
Not necessarily, no.
It's more about using them strategically
Yeah.
to gain knowledge and skills
Exactly.
that you can bring in-house.
Yeah, he talks about it like an apprenticeship,
Oh, I like that.
where you're basically hiring the agency's expertise
Okay.
to upskill your team.
So it's a knowledge transfer.
It is, yeah.
That's really interesting.
And he gives a framework for how to negotiate this type of agreement.
Oh, look.
Where you set very clear expectations.
Okay.
You establish deadlines for the knowledge transfer.
So they're not just stringing you along.
Exactly, yeah. Okay.
And making it clear that your goal is to eventually become self-sufficient.
So you're not relying on them forever. It's
Okay.
about empowerment.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, now what about affiliates? How do they fit into this whole lead generation equation?
So he's a big believer in building what he calls an affiliate army.
An affiliate army, okay. For those who aren't familiar with affiliate marketing, can you just break down how that works?
Yeah, so essentially affiliate marketing is a performance-based model where you partner with other businesses or individuals
Okay.
who promote your products or services to their own audience.
Okay.
And they earn a commission for every sale or lead they generate.
So it's like having an army of salespeople,
Exactly.
but you only pay them when they perform.
Exactly. So it's very cost-effective.
Yeah.
Because you're not spending money on advertising that might not convert.
Right.
You're only paying when you actually get new customers or leads.
It's a really powerful model.
It is, yeah, for scaling your business.
Yeah. So how do you go about building this affiliate army?
So he outlines a 6-step process.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the first step is to identify your ideal affiliates.
Okay.
Right? So think about businesses or individuals who have an audience
Okay.
that aligns with your target market.
You're tapping into an existing network.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once you've identified them,
Yeah.
then you need to craft a compelling offer
Okay.
that incentivizes them to promote your products.
Make it a win-win.
Make it a win-win, exactly.
What kind of incentives are we talking about?
So the most common one is a commission or revenue share.
Okay.
For every sale or lead they generate.
Yeah.
You could also offer, exclusive discounts or bonuses for their audience,
Okay.
or even provide them with free products or services.
Okay, so you're giving them a reason to be excited?
Yeah, you're not just asking them to promote your stuff.
Okay.
You're giving them something valuable.
Gotcha.
The third step is to qualify your affiliates. So you don't want to just accept anyone who expresses interest.
Right.
You want to make sure they're a good fit for your brand.
Yeah, they have a legitimate audience.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they can actually drive results.
So you're building a quality network,
Exactly.
not just a big one.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next?
So then you want to determine a fair compensation structure.
Okay.
So this is typically a percentage of the sale
Okay.
or a flat fee per lead.
Right.
And then once you have that in place, you need to provide your affiliates with the resources and support they need to be successful.
Okay.
So this includes marketing materials, training,
Okay.
ongoing communication.
Well, you're treating them like partners.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then finally, you want to find ways to keep them engaged
Yeah.
and motivated over the long term.
Long-term vision.
Yeah, so this might involve hosting contests, offering special bonuses, or just staying in regular contact
Yeah.
and showing them that you appreciate their efforts.
Yeah. It's a relationship.
It is.
So we've covered a lot today.
We have.
It's amazing to see how all these pieces fit together
Yeah.
to create this comprehensive lead generation strategy.
It is. It's a system, right?
A system.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people miss.
They do. They think it's about, magic bullets or hacks.
Yeah.
But it's really about having a solid system.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
are there any final thoughts or key takeaways?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from $100 leads is that anyone can build a successful business
Okay.
if they're willing to put in the work and follow a proven process.
So it's about having that system, not just hoping for the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about constantly learning and experimenting
Yeah.
and refining your approach.
It's that growth mindset.
It is, yeah.
And don't forget, you don't have to do it all yourself.
Yeah, leverage the power of others.
Leverage.
Whether it's your customers, your employees,
Yeah.
agencies, affiliates, build your army of lead getters.
I like that. An army of lead getters.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Thanks.
Really appreciate you sharing your insights.
Happy to be here. It really revolves around maximizing customer value and exceeding their expectations at every touch point.
Okay, so let's dive into those strategies.
Okay.
What's the first one?
All right. So first and foremost, your product or service has to be truly remarkable.
Okay.
It needs to be so good that people can't help but talk about it.
That seems pretty obvious, but I imagine it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day
Right.
and kind of lose sight of the big picture.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just about the initial product. It's about constantly seeking feedback, looking for ways to improve, even if you think you're already doing really well.
That continuous improvement mindset.
Exactly. Always striving to be better. Okay, so the second strategy is to underpromise and overdeliver.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's a classic for a reason.
It is, yeah. Setting those expectations and then just blowing them out of the water.
Yeah, you want to create that wow factor that leaves people feeling really good.
Yeah, feeling like they got more than they bargained for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to the third strategy. This one is to focus on getting your best customers even better results.
Okay.
So the idea here is that your most successful customers are your most powerful advocates.
Because they've actually seen the results.
Right, exactly. They've experienced the value firsthand. So what he suggests is figuring out what your top performing customers are doing,
Okay.
and then find ways to help all of your customers achieve those same results.
So it's like identifying best practices and then figuring out a way to systematize those.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to replicate that success across your entire customer base.
Oh,
All right, the fourth strategy is to speed up wins for your customers.
okay. What exactly does he mean by wins?
So a win is any positive experience a customer has with your product or service. And the faster you can deliver those wins, the more engaged they'll be.
So it's about creating those aha moments
Exactly.
early on in the customer journey.
Yeah. You want to make them feel good about their decision to do business with you
Makes sense.
as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
And a good way to do that is to break down larger goals into smaller milestones
Okay.
so they can celebrate those small victories along the way.
So it's not just about the end goal. It's about those little steps.
Right. It's about creating momentum and excitement.
Okay. What's the fifth strategy?
Okay. The fifth strategy is to reduce effort and sacrifice for your customers.
Okay.
Make it as easy as possible for them to get the results they want.
Remove the friction points.
Exactly. Yeah. Remove the friction, reduce the obstacles.
Okay.
The smoother the experience,
Yeah.
the happier your customers will be.
It's all about the experience.
It is. Okay, and then the final strategy is to keep selling to your existing customers.
I feel like this is one that a lot of businesses overlook.
They do. They get so caught up in acquiring new customers
Right.
that they forget about the gold mine they already have.
Yeah.
What he emphasizes is that your existing customers are your most valuable asset. They already know you, they trust you, they're more likely to buy from you again if you continue to provide value.
So it's all about nurturing those relationships
Exactly.
and continuing to deliver on those expectations.
Yeah, it's not about being pushy or salesy.
Mhm.
It's about creating a customer journey where there are multiple opportunities to engage and buy from you over time.
So you're building that long-term relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've covered the 6 strategies for building goodwill.
we have.
Now let's talk about actually asking for referrals. Is there a right way to do that?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what he has to say about this because I think a lot of people are hesitant to ask for referrals.
He has some really good insights on this.
Okay.
He says you should treat asking for referrals like an offer itself.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about casually mentioning it in passing. It's about demonstrating the value that the customer gets from making a referral.
So make it a win-win.
Exactly. You want to make it mutually beneficial.
Okay, so what are some specific tactics he recommends?
Okay, so what are some specific tactics he recommends?
Okay, so one thing he talks about is offering referral benefits.
So either one-sided or two-sided benefits.
Okay.
Essentially, you're giving the referrer a reward for bringing in a new customer
Gotcha.
or offering benefits to both the referrer and the new customer.
So you're incentivizing those referrals.
Yeah, exactly. You're making it worth their while.
Okay, what else?
He also talks about strategically timing your ask,
Yeah.
like right after a positive customer experience.
So strike while the iron is hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When they're feeling really good about your product or service.
Okay.
Or you could even use it as a negotiation tactic during a sale.
Oh, interesting. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you refer a friend, I'll give you an extra discount.
Exactly. Yeah, you can get creative with it.
Okay, I like that.
He's also a big proponent of ongoing referral programs
Okay.
where you're consistently reminding customers about the benefits of referring.
So you're building that into your processes.
Exactly. Yeah, make it part of your customer journey. He also suggests using unlockable referral bonuses
Okay.
so customers can earn increasing rewards for making multiple referrals or for leaving testimonials.
So you're encouraging that ongoing engagement.
Exactly. And he gives a great example of a really irresistible referral promotion. He talks about offering gift cards
Yeah.
that customers can give to their friends.
Okay.
But the gift cards have a short expiration date
Oh, interesting.
to encourage immediate action.
I see. So it creates that sense of urgency.
Exactly. And it also creates a sense of exclusivity and value.
So it's not just a discount, it's something tangible.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about employees.
Okay.
How does Hormozi view the role of employees in lead generation?
So he sees employees as an extension of your sales and marketing efforts.
Okay.
And he draws a parallel between attracting customers and attracting talent.
Okay.
He says many of the same principles apply.
So you could use the core 4 to attract employees.
Absolutely. You could use warm outreach to tap into your personal and professional networks to find potential candidates. You could create content that showcases your company culture and values to attract people who align with your mission.
Okay.
You could leverage cold outreach to reach out to passive candidates
Gotcha.
who might not be actively looking for a new job.
Okay.
And you could use paid ads to promote your job openings and reach a wider pool of talent.
Wow. So
So
it's like applying a marketing lens to your entire employee life cycle,
Exactly.
from attracting talent to onboarding and training.
Right. And once you have the right people on board, you need to empower them to become lead getters.
Okay, so how do you go about training them to be effective in that role?
He advocates for a 3-step model: document, demonstrate, duplicate.
Okay.
First, you need to document your lead generation processes in a clear and concise way.
Okay.
Then you demonstrate those processes to your team, showing them exactly how it's done.
So they can see it in action.
Right. And finally, you empower them to duplicate those processes on their own.
So it's about systematizing your approach.
Exactly. Yeah. You're creating a repeatable process that anyone on your team can follow.
And it's about that shift in mindset
It is.
from I can do it better myself
Right.
to if someone else can do it, why should I?
Exactly. It's about letting go of control and trusting your team.
And ultimately freeing up your time and energy.
Right. So you can focus on the things that only you can do.
Okay, let's talk about agencies.
Okay.
How does Hormozi recommend leveraging their expertise?
He has a unique perspective on agencies. He sees them as valuable learning opportunities.
Okay.
particularly for mastering new platforms or techniques.
So it's not about outsourcing lead generation entirely.
Not necessarily, no.
It's more about using them strategically to
Exactly.
gain knowledge and skills that you can bring in-house.
That's a great way to put it. He's essentially advocating for a short-term apprenticeship
I like that analogy.
where you're hiring the agency's expertise to upskill your own team.
So it's like a knowledge transfer.
It is, yeah. You're using the agency as a stepping stone to building your own internal capabilities.
Okay. And how do you go about finding the right agency and structuring that agreement?
He provides a really clear framework for negotiating this type of agreement with an agency.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of setting clear expectations up front,
Okay.
establishing deadlines for knowledge transfer.
So they're not just stringing you along indefinitely.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And making it clear that your goal is to eventually become self-sufficient in that particular area.
So you're not relying on them forever.
Right. It's about empowerment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not just about blindly handing over the reins, it's about being strategic and intentional.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to find an agency that has a proven track record of success, a clear process,
Okay.
and a focus on long-term strategies, not just quick fixes.
So you're not just looking for someone to throw money at ads.
Right. You're looking for a true partner who's invested in your success.
Okay, now let's move on to the fourth and final type of lead getter, affiliates. How does Hormozi view their role in lead generation?
He's a huge advocate for building what he calls an affiliate army.
An affiliate army. Okay,
Yeah.
for those who aren't familiar with affiliate marketing, can you explain how that works?
Yeah, so essentially, affiliate marketing is a performance-based model where you partner with other businesses or individuals
Okay.
who promote your products or services to their own audience.
Gotcha.
And they earn a commission for every sale or lead they generate.
So it's like having an army of salespeople working on your behalf, but you only pay them when they produce results.
Exactly. And because affiliates are typically only paid when they generate results, it's a very cost-effective way to grow your business.
Okay.
You're not spending money on advertising that might not convert.
Right.
You're only paying when you actually get new customers or leads.
It sounds like a really powerful model for scaling your business.
It is.
So how do you actually go about building this affiliate army?
He outlines a very clear 6-step process.
Okay, let's break it down.
All right, so the first step is to identify your ideal affiliates.
Okay.
So think about businesses or individuals who have an audience that aligns with your target market.
So you're tapping into an existing network.
Exactly. You're leveraging their influence.
Okay.
Once you've identified your potential affiliates, you need to craft a compelling offer
Okay.
that incentivizes them to promote your products or services.
And make it a win-win for both parties.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What are some examples of incentives you could offer?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The most common incentive is a commission or revenue share
Okay.
for every sale or lead the affiliate generates.
Okay.
You could also offer exclusive discounts or bonuses for their audience,
Okay.
or even provide them with free products or services to try out and promote.
So you're not just asking them to promote your stuff, you're giving them a reason to be excited about it.
Exactly. Yeah. The third step is to qualify your affiliates.
Okay.
You don't want to just accept anyone who expresses interest.
Right, gotta vet them.
Yeah, you want to make sure that they're a good fit for your brand, that they have a legitimate audience,
Okay.
and that they're actually capable of driving results.
So you're building a high-quality affiliate network, not just a massive one.
Exactly. You want quality over quantity.
Okay.
Once you have a pool of qualified affiliates, you need to determine a fair compensation structure.
Okay.
This is typically a percentage of the sale or a flat fee per lead.
Okay.
And then it's all about providing your affiliates with the resources and support they need to be successful.
So set them up for success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This includes providing them with marketing materials, training on your products or services,
Okay.
and ongoing communication to keep them updated on new developments and promotions.
So you're treating your affiliates like valued partners, not just cogs in a machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
The final step is to find ways to keep your affiliates engaged and motivated over the long term.
Okay, how do you do that?
This might involve hosting contests or offering special bonuses for top performers, or simply staying in regular contact and showing them that you appreciate their efforts.
So it's about building those relationships.
Exactly. It's about building a long-term, mutually beneficial partnership.
We've covered so much ground today.
Yeah, we have.
It's amazing to see how all these pieces fit together to create a comprehensive lead generation strategy.
It's like building a machine, right? Where all the parts work together
yeah.
seamlessly.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
are there any final thoughts or key takeaways you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from $100 ML leads is that anyone can build a successful business
Okay.
if they're willing to put in the work and follow a proven process.
So it's not about luck or some secret formula.
No, it's about having a system, not just hoping for the best.
Okay.
And it's about constantly learning, experimenting, and refining your approach.
That growth mindset is essential.
It is, yeah. And don't forget, you don't have to do it all yourself.
Right.
Leverage the power of others, whether it's your customers, your employees, agencies, or affiliates.
Build that army of lead getters.
Exactly.
Great advice. Thanks for sharing your insights with us today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it really is. It's inspiring to see that, he lays out these steps and it's like,
Yeah.
it's not rocket science,
Yeah.
but you got to put in the work.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I think one of the things that really stood out to me was how much he emphasizes having a data-driven mindset.
Okay.
Like he's all about tracking your metrics, analyzing the data, and constantly tweaking and improving based on what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's that more, better, new thing.
Exactly. It's an iterative process.
It's not just set it and forget it.
No, you're always looking for ways to optimize.
And he seems to really encourage embracing failure as part of that process.
Oh, yeah, he talks a lot about that.
Okay.
Like, don't be afraid to try new things, experiment, and, even if you fail,
Yeah.
you learn from it and you move on.
It's all about that growth mindset. And his own story is a testament to that, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He didn't just become successful overnight.
No, he's had his share of setbacks and challenges along the way.
So for those listening who are ready to dive into $100 leads, what's a good place to start?
I would say the first thing you need to do is get really clear on your goals.
Okay.
Like, what are you actually trying to achieve with your business? Are you trying to grow an existing business, launch a new product or service, or even start something totally from scratch?
Yeah, once you know where you're going,
Right.
then you can figure out the best way to get there.
Exactly. Once you're clear on your goals, then you can choose the right lead generation methods that make the most sense for your situation.
Okay.
So if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of resources, you might focus on things like warm outreach and content creation, right? Those are things that take more time but less money.
And then as you start to generate revenue, you can reinvest that into other things.
Exactly. You can start experimenting with paid advertising or look into partnerships with agencies or affiliates.
So it's about starting small, testing, and then scaling up.
That's a great way to put
Yeah.
it. And remember, building a successful business takes time and effort. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately.
Yeah. Stay focused, stay consistent, and just keep putting in the work.
And I think it's also important to remember that you don't have to do it all alone.
Oh, absolutely.
Leverage your network, seek out mentors.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who can support you on this journey.
Exactly. Building a business is a team sport.
Well said. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into $100 leads.
Yeah, my pleasure.
We hope you found it valuable.
Yeah.
And until next time,
Until next time.
keep diving deep.